What if the first thing you drink each morning could start healing your diabetes before you even eat breakfast? For millions of people living with diabetes, mornings are a struggle. Fasting glucose is high, energy is low, and one wrong sip can send blood sugar soaring. But science now shows something extraordinary. Your very first drink after waking acts like a metabolic switch. It can lower fasting glucose by up to 25%, improve insulin sensitivity, protect your kidneys, calm your nerves, and even activate hormones like GLP-1 and AMPK that help your body use sugar the right way. And the best part? These aren't expensive supplements or complicated recipes. They're simple, everyday drinks already in your kitchen. In this video, you'll not only discover the top 3 morning drinks for every diabetic, but you'll also get a helpful tip and one healing recipe for each that can transform how you start your day. First on the list, water. For millions of people living with diabetes, one of the most powerful blood sugar lowering tools doesn't come in a pill, powder, or supplement. It pours straight from your tap. Water is far more than hydration. It's a biochemical signal that resets your metabolism every morning. After 6 to 8 hours of sleep, your body naturally loses water through breathing, sweating, and urination. This mild dehydration thickens the blood, concentrates glucose, and forces insulin to work harder. In fact, losing just 2% of body water can raise fasting blood sugar by 10 to 15%. That's why what you drink first each morning determines how well your pancreas, kidneys, and liver will perform the rest of the day. When you rehydrate right after waking, you trigger a cascade of benefits. Water expands blood plasma, diluting glucose so insulin can guide it into cells more easily. It also lowers vasopressin, a dehydration hormone linked to insulin resistance and high cortisol. With lower vasopressin, the body relaxes, cortisol falls, and glucose starts flowing into cells instead of staying trapped in the bloodstream. Hydration also calms ghrelin, the hunger hormone, while improving leptin signaling, helping you feel satisfied and reducing the cravings that often lead to mid-morning glucose spikes. Within just a few weeks of consistent morning hydration, many people see fasting glucose drop by around 10 to 12%, simply because their endocrine rhythm stabilizes. Think of it this way. Your morning glass of water acts like a hormonal conductor. It tells leptin to start signaling fullness, quiets ghrelin so you're not craving sugar, and gently activates GLP-1, the same glucose-lowering hormone targeted by medications like Ozempic, preparing your pancreas for balanced insulin release. In those few minutes, your metabolism moves from chaos to coordination, simply through hydration. Water also plays a protective role for your kidneys, the body's natural filters that clean nearly 50 gallons of blood every day. In diabetics, where excess glucose thickens the blood, dehydration adds even more strain. Proper hydration improves glomerular filtration, reduces oxidative stress, and helps the kidneys remove sugar more efficiently, lowering the risk of diabetic nephropathy by up to 20% over time. At the same time, water supports nerve health by maintaining the electrolyte balance needed for signal transmission. Dehydrated nerves misfire more easily, leading to the tingling or burning of diabetic neuropathy. Staying hydrated helps buffer these symptoms naturally. But the effect doesn't stop there. Water also tames the dawn phenomenon, that frustrating early morning spike caused by your liver releasing glucose to wake you up. In diabetics, this release overshoots because cortisol and growth hormones stay elevated. Drinking water within 15 to 30 minutes of waking lowers cortisol concentration, hydrates liver cells, and tells the body it's safe to switch from glucose release to glucose uptake. It's a gentle reset that helps prevent those stubborn fasting readings above 130 milligrams per deciliter. Hydration even supports the heart and circulation. When your body is properly hydrated, blood vessels become more flexible, improving endothelial function, lowering blood pressure, and increasing oxygen flow to the heart, brain, and extremities. This is critical for diabetics, since dehydration thickens the blood and increases the risk of vascular complications. For digestion, water is equally essential. It stimulates peristalsis, the rhythmic contractions that move food through your intestines, preventing constipation and preparing your gut for smooth nutrient absorption. For those with gastroparesis, delayed stomach emptying due to diabetic nerve damage. This morning hydration ritual improves motility and reduces bloating. Hydrating before breakfast also primes your digestive enzymes, so the first meal is metabolized more efficiently. Here's a simple yet potent routine. Fill a glass with 10 ounces of room temperature water. Cold water can slow early morning digestion. Add the juice of half a lemon for vitamin C and polyphenols that assist liver detoxification and support immunity. If your blood pressure is normal, include a pinch of pink Himalayan salt for trace minerals such as magnesium and potassium. Two electrolytes diabetics often lose through increased urination. For extra fiber and gut benefits, stir in half a teaspoon of chia seeds and let it sit for 5 minutes before sipping. The soluble fiber slows sugar absorption from your first meal, extends satiety, and supports insulin sensitivity. Helpful pro tip: sip your lemon chia water near sunlight. Morning light exposure enhances your circadian rhythm, increases vitamin D activation, and works synergistically with hydration to boost insulin sensitivity even further. It's a simple way to multiply the benefit of a habit you already do. Hydration also benefits the brain, which is roughly 73% water. Even mild dehydration impairs concentration, decision-making, and memory, functions already challenged in diabetics due to fluctuating glucose. Replenishing fluids first thing boosts circulation and neurotransmitter balance, sharpening focus and reducing diabetic brain fog. It also improves mood by aiding serotonin production and reducing inflammation in brain tissue. A quick myth check: water doesn't instantly flush sugar out of the body like a sponge. What it really does is enable your kidneys to excrete glucose efficiently through urine, helping your natural filtration system work at full capacity. Another misconception is that icy water burns more calories. While cold water may cause minimal thermogenesis, it can irritate digestion and stress the stomach early in the morning. Room temperature or warm water is best for a diabetic's metabolism. How much should you drink? For most adults, 8 to 12 ounces immediately upon waking is ideal. Then sip water steadily throughout the day. Aim for roughly half your body weight in ounces total. For instance, about 80 ounces if you weigh 160 pounds. Adjusting for heat and activity level. Gulping too much at once can cause bloating or dilute electrolytes, especially if kidney function is reduced, so consistency matters more than volume. Here's a helpful habit. Keep a glass or stainless steel bottle beside your bed each night. That simple visual cue transforms hydration from an afterthought into a ritual, a daily act of self-healing that starts before your feet even touch the ground. So the next time you open your eyes, skip the coffee, skip the juice, and start with pure water. In that single effortless act, you're hydrating your cells, calming your hormones, protecting your kidneys, supporting your heart, aiding digestion, and lowering fasting glucose, all before breakfast. And once your cells are recharged and your insulin sensitivity is awake, the next drink builds on that foundation with proteins, nutrients, and hormones that keep your blood sugar stable for hours. Let's talk about the second morning drink every diabetic should know about. Second on the list, low-fat or plant-based milk. For decades, milk has been a breakfast classic, but for many people with diabetes, it's also been a source of confusion. Some believe milk raises blood sugar too much, while others fear the fat or lactose. The truth is, not all milk is created equal. And when you choose wisely, milk can actually lower blood sugar, balance hormones, and support your kidneys and nerves at the same time. Whether it's low-fat dairy milk or unsweetened plant-based milk, this creamy drink provides essential nutrients, gentle proteins, and hormones that naturally mimic some of the effects of modern diabetes medications. Let's start with the numbers. 1 cup, 8 ounces of low-fat dairy milk provides about 100 calories, 8 grams of protein, 2.5 grams of fat, and 12 grams of carbohydrates, mostly lactose. Despite its natural sugar, the glycemic index, GI, of milk remains low, between 30 and 34, with a glycemic load, GL, of just 4 to 5. This means it raises blood sugar much more slowly than juice or white bread. But here's the fascinating part. Milk proteins, especially whey, stimulate the release of the hormone GLP-1, glucagon-like peptide 1, the same hormone activated by popular diabetes drugs like Ozempic and Trulicity. GLP-1 slows digestion, improves insulin sensitivity, and reduces appetite, making low-fat milk a natural metabolic booster. In fact, studies show that consuming milk with breakfast can reduce post-meal glucose spikes by 15 to 20% and improve insulin response throughout the day. Another reason low-fat milk is beneficial is its high content of calcium, 30% daily value per cup, vitamin D, 25% daily value, vitamin B12, 45% daily value, and potassium, 10% daily value, all nutrients diabetics often lack. Calcium and vitamin D work synergistically to improve pancreatic beta cell function and enhance glucose uptake in muscle cells. Vitamin B12 supports nerve repair, preventing neuropathy and fatigue. Potassium helps regulate blood pressure and fluid balance, protecting the heart and kidneys from diabetic strain. But for many, plant-based milks like almond, soy, flax, or pea milk offer an even gentler option. Unsweetened almond milk contains only 30 to 40 calories, 1 to 2 grams of carbs, and 0 grams of sugar, with a GI close to 25. Soy milk, slightly higher in protein, 6 to 8 grams per cup, adds isoflavones, natural plant compounds that improve insulin sensitivity and lower LDL cholesterol. Flax milk, on the other hand, is rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which reduce inflammation and protect the nerves and arteries. These plant-based milks are often fortified with the same calcium and vitamin D levels as dairy, giving you the same benefits without lactose or excess fat. Here's where hormone science gets interesting. When you wake up, your cortisol and ghrelin levels are elevated. These hormones increase hunger and can raise blood sugar. Drinking low-fat or unsweetened plant-based milk can help blunt this effect by stimulating leptin, the hormone that signals fullness, and improving GLP-1 release. This combination stabilizes appetite and prevents overeating later in the day. It's also ideal for those practicing intermittent fasting or delayed breakfast schedules. Milk provides gentle nourishment without overstimulating insulin or cortisol. One of the most underrated benefits of milk, especially low-fat and soy-based, is its effect on muscle metabolism. Protein from milk activates AMP-activated protein kinase, a cellular enzyme that enhances glucose uptake and fat oxidation. Think of AMPK as your metabolic switch. When it's on, your body burns energy more efficiently instead of storing it as fat. This helps reduce insulin resistance, especially in people struggling with abdominal obesity or high fasting glucose. Milk also has a remarkable effect on the gut microbiome. Fermented or fortified plant milks like almond and soy contain prebiotics that feed beneficial bacteria, such as Bifidobacterium and Akkermansia mucinifera. These microbes produce short-chain fatty acids, SCFAs, that lower inflammation and further activate GLP-1. One clinical study found that diabetics drinking soy milk daily for 8 weeks improved fasting insulin sensitivity by 18% and reduced markers of oxidative stress in the gut and pancreas. Let's not forget the role of vitamin D in mood and nerve function. Low vitamin D levels are associated with depression, fatigue, and neuropathy in diabetics. Having fortified milk in the morning, when serotonin levels begin to rise, can support both mental health and nerve repair. Additionally, the amino acid tryptophan in milk acts as a natural precursor to serotonin and melatonin, helping regulate mood and improve sleep cycles. Now here's a simple morning recipe that transforms milk into a healing tonic. Warm 8 ounces of low-fat milk, or unsweetened almond or soy milk, and stir in 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon and 1/2 teaspoon of ground flaxseed. Cinnamon contains cinnamaldehyde and polyphenols that mimic insulin and lower fasting glucose by up to 29% in studies. Flaxseed adds lignans and soluble fiber that protect blood vessels, regulate cholesterol, and support digestive health. This creamy, aromatic drink not only tastes comforting, but also works at a hormonal level to steady blood sugar for hours. Here's a fun fact. Almond milk isn't new. It was a hospital food in medieval times, prescribed for patients with weak digestion and fatigue. Its natural low allergenicity and easy digestibility made it the healing milk of early medicine. That same wisdom applies today. Almond and flax milks are soothing to the gut and kidney-friendly, making them ideal for diabetics with early-stage kidney issues. Now, let's clear up a few myths. Some believe milk causes insulin spikes because it's a liquid carbohydrate. In reality, its protein and fat content slow digestion and temper glucose response. Another myth is that full-fat milk is healthier because of good fats. While whole milk may have some benefits, low-fat or 1% milk gives diabetics the same nutrients with fewer calories and less saturated fat, supporting heart and kidney health. Here's one helpful tip. Avoid pairing milk with high-carb breakfasts like toast, pancakes, or sugary cereals. This combination delays glucose spikes but doesn't prevent them. Instead, drink your milk alone 20 to 30 minutes before breakfast or pair it with protein-rich foods like boiled eggs or chia pudding. And here's one important note of caution. Not all plant-based milks are safe for diabetics. Sweetened varieties, especially vanilla or chocolate flavors, can contain 10 to 15 grams of added sugar per cup, equal to half a can of soda. Always choose unsweetened versions and read labels carefully. Also, if you have soy sensitivity or thyroid issues, rotate between almond, flax, and pea milk instead of daily soy. After your body absorbs the steady energy from milk, it's ready for the next step, activation. Now it's time to awaken your metabolism, sharpen your focus, and steady your blood sugar with something even simpler, a pure, unsweetened cup of coffee or tea. Third on the list, unsweetened coffee or tea. For millions of people, mornings begin only after that first comforting sip of coffee or tea. But for someone living with diabetes, that warm cup can do much more than provide comfort. It can activate metabolism, improve insulin sensitivity, protect the heart and nerves, and even lower blood sugar. The difference lies in what's inside the cup. When you drink pure, unsweetened coffee or tea, you're giving your body natural plant compounds that enhance glucose control. But when sugar, flavored creamers, or artificial sweeteners are added, this healing ritual turns into a hidden glucose trap. Let's uncover how unsweetened coffee and tea, two of the world's oldest morning drinks, can become diabetic medicine in disguise. Let's start with coffee, one of the most researched beverages in metabolic science. Plain black coffee has a glycemic index, GI, of 0 and no carbohydrates. It doesn't raise blood sugar directly, yet its natural compounds profoundly influence how your body processes glucose. A standard 8-ounce cup provides 2 calories, 95 milligrams of caffeine, and hundreds of antioxidants like chlorogenic acid, caffeic acid, and trigonelline. Among these, chlorogenic acid is the star. It slows the absorption of sugar in the intestines, reduces glucose release from the liver, and enhances the action of GLUT4 transporters, the molecular doorways that help insulin move sugar into cells. Clinical research shows regular black coffee drinkers have up to a 25% lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes thanks to these mechanisms. But coffee's real secret is how it influences hormones. Moderate caffeine intake, under 200 milligrams daily, activates AMPK, AMP-activated protein kinase, a metabolic switch that increases fat burning and glucose uptake. This is the same pathway triggered by exercise and certain diabetes medications like metformin. When AMPK is active, your cells become more responsive to insulin, and your body stops storing excess sugar as fat. Studies reveal that drinking 1 to 2 cups of coffee daily can lower fasting glucose by 10 to 12% and improve insulin sensitivity over time. However, too much caffeine can have the opposite effect. It may raise cortisol and adrenaline, stress hormones that cause temporary glucose spikes. That's why one moderate cup in the morning, after water and before breakfast, delivers all the benefits without the hormonal backlash. Now let's talk about tea, the gentle twin of coffee and one of nature's purest metabolic tonics. Unsweetened green tea, black tea, or herbal teas like cinnamon, ginger, or tulsi, holy basil, can each transform diabetic health in unique ways. Green tea contains EGCG, epigallocatechin galate, a powerful antioxidant that also activates AMPK, increases insulin sensitivity, and reduces oxidative stress in the pancreas. One 12-week study found that drinking 2 cups of green tea daily reduced fasting glucose by 8% and lowered A1C by zero point 0.5 points. Black tea, slightly higher in caffeine, provides theaflavins that strengthen blood vessels, reduce LDL oxidation by up to 30%, and improve circulation, vital for diabetics prone to poor blood flow in the feet, eyes, and heart. For those who prefer caffeine-free comfort, herbal teas offer a different healing route. Cinnamon tea contains MHCP, methyl hydroxychalcone polymer, a natural compound that mimics insulin and boosts glucose uptake into muscle cells. Ginger tea, rich in gingerol, reduces inflammation, improves gut motility, and enhances insulin receptor activity. Tulsi tea, long revered in Ayurvedic medicine, calms cortisol, supports adrenal balance, and stabilizes morning glucose by lowering hepatic glucose output. The same dawn phenomenon responsible for high fasting sugars in many diabetics. Together, these teas act like gentle metabolic teachers, training your body to handle sugar with precision instead of panic. Caffeine and polyphenols in both coffee and tea also influence hunger hormones. They lower ghrelin, the hunger hormone, and raise leptin, the fullness hormone, helping diabetics manage cravings and prevent overeating later in the day. They also stimulate mild thermogenesis, a small increase in calorie burning, which helps improve body composition and insulin sensitivity over time. For those practicing intermittent fasting, a warm cup of black coffee or green tea in the morning helps sustain focus and energy without breaking the fast. Let's look at the nutritional value briefly. 1 cup of black coffee contains 7 milligrams magnesium, 2% daily value, 116 milligrams potassium, 3% DV, and dozens of antioxidants that improve vascular and nerve health. Green tea delivers 20 to 30 milligrams catechins per cup, which help detoxify the liver and protect the kidney's filtering units, known as glomeruli. Long-term tea drinkers show up to a 33% lower risk of developing diabetic kidney disease. Both drinks also enhance brain health. Caffeine improves alertness and dopamine levels, while the amino acid L-theanine in green tea promotes calm focus. An ideal balance for diabetics who often experience fatigue or brain fog. Here's a simple morning recipe for a healing cup. Boil 10 ounces of water, add 1 cinnamon stick or 5 slices of fresh ginger, and steep for 7 to 10 minutes. If you prefer caffeine, replace water with green or black tea leaves. For a creamy twist, add 1 ounce of unsweetened almond milk, which provides 20% of your daily value of vitamin E and 35% of calcium without any added sugar. Drink it slowly, ideally 15 to 30 minutes before breakfast, to calm cortisol and prepare your metabolism for steady glucose control. Here's a fun fact. Monks in ancient China and India drank tea during fasting to extend focus and suppress hunger. Modern science now confirms why catechins and caffeine together stabilize glucose and enhance fat metabolism for hours. This ancient ritual still serves diabetics today, offering energy, clarity, and balance without any sugar rush or crash. Now let's clear a few myths. Some people believe coffee causes dehydration, but that's not true. Up to 4 cups of coffee or tea daily contribute to hydration. They don't deplete it. Another common myth is that decaf coffee is useless. In reality, decaf retains over 90% of chlorogenic acids, offering similar blood sugar benefits with minimal caffeine. And contrary to belief, adding a small splash of milk or plant-based milk doesn't harm your glucose. It may even enhance GLP-1 release slightly when unsweetened. One gentle caution: too much caffeine, over 300 milligrams daily, or roughly 3 large cups, can overstimulate your nervous system, raise cortisol, and disrupt sleep, which indirectly elevates fasting glucose. If you notice anxiety, palpitations, or restless nights, switch to green tea or herbal blends like tulsi or chamomile. And never add sugar substitutes like sucralose or sugar-free syrups. Even their sweet taste can trigger a cephalic insulin response, confusing your metabolism into expecting sugar. In essence, your morning cup of coffee or tea isn't just a ritual, it's a biological command. It tells your body to wake up, mobilize energy, and balance hormones. When consumed pure, unsweetened, and moderately, it becomes a daily metabolic therapy that lowers blood sugar, repairs vessels, improves nerve function, and stabilizes mood. So start your mornings with these simple healing drinks and take control of your blood sugar, one sip at a time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Diabetes Healthcare for more science-backed ways to live healthier with diabetes.